Hello and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for co-op news, reviews, playthroughs, and tonight, game design. Yes, that's right. Mike and I are trying something new tonight. If this goes horribly wrong, then we will get rid of it forever.
Not try it.
And delete it, and you will never know unless you are here live and in person. So we are going to work on a game so Flame Fang is the first game we're going to publish ourselves that we have designed, and we're not working on that tonight. We're basically done with that. We're getting graphic design work done, things like that. It's coming along swimmingly, but one of the people we are co-publishing with had the idea of coming up with a roll and write to do with Flame Fang, just as a secondary option for people on the Kickstarter. It would just be a PDF, print and play. So we've done quite a bit of design work on it in the past, but tonight we are going to work through it with everybody live. And just so you could see our design process, how we think, what we do. If you have any questions, certainly suggestions, we may or may not take them. But I mean, imagine somebody giving you suggestions while you're doing work. That's kind of what would be going on here. But we'd love to be interactive with the audience. But at the same time, we are trying to get some work accomplished ourselves tonight. So this is my crazy idea. So don't blame Mike if it's terrible. This one's all on me. So how you doing, Mike? I have said all the words while you have stared intently at your monitor, clearly working on something.
I'm already working, yeah. So I'm doing all right.
Good.
I'm trying to recreate. So yeah, like Peter said, the person who's publishing the game with us, he did like an initial draft of the roll and write, but I'm trying to recreate using some of our other art assets. The map, because already we did some playtesting with the game at a convention recently, and we haven't fully implemented some of the things we decided to try out from that. So I want to have the ability to do that. So yeah, I'm in Adobe Illustrator right now. I don't know if there's any way for me to show my screen with what we're doing. Maybe not, but
probably not. But that's okay, because what I am doing is I am copying. So we had this the original roll and write idea. Actually, the co-publisher worked with on us. He made a PDF version of it, or he made it in PowerPoint, and then
I shared my screen. Can anybody see my screen? Can you see my screen, Peter?
Where are you? You're sharing it on OBS Ninja?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like a screen within a screen within a screen. All right.
Well, I switched over. Now it should be something else. Do you see that?
Yeah. Hold on. So it came in as a separate thing. So yes, a
separate input.
It came.
Sorry,
No. That's even better. Let's do that. So window capture. Let me put. Nope, that won't work. Give me a second. I might blow this up. Oh, right now I'm showing nothing. So let me transition to a better screen. All right. So I'm gonna do. We're gonna do a browser for this one. So this is us not knowing what we're doing because we're doing this for the first time, but that's okay. This is, you got to start somewhere.
Yep.
You got to start somewhere. Okay, yes. I am able to show what you are working on. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that.
Yeah, so these are not specifically for... Oh.
I said I was able to do it. I didn't say I was doing it.
Why would you ever actually show it? That'd be ridiculous.
Yes, okay. Yeah, so this is what Mike is working on over here.
Yeah, so now can you see it?
Yes, now everybody can see it.
So these are the actual... Here, I'll zoom in a bit. This is Adobe Illustrator, by the way. These are the actual art assets for the location tiles in Flame Fang, the main game we're doing. So I'm just porting them in as a placeholder for the roll and write. Making these little icons on the right are the type of resource. There's 3 types of resources in the game that they provide. And I guess what I want to add next, Peter, so had we landed... So for context, because y'all are just coming into the middle of a long process, there's a game with sort of scenarios. I mean, the roll and write, not as much scenarios, but you're trying to defeat a boss, do some other stuff. And enemies, we had our putting out fires discussion on the podcast that I guess was already on the streaming channel, is going up tomorrow.
Yep.
One of the fires you're putting out is minions coming out on the board. And correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, but we had like said we were going to try out if a location has a small and a large minion and would have to spawn there again, then you take damage, right? But then we were going to have a few of them so you could defeat them and then they can come back, like 3 small minions and 2 large minions, but you can only have 1 of each at a location. Am I remembering that correctly?
Correct.
All right, so I think for now, just simplicity's sake, for anybody who wants to be a designer out there, don't waste time making things look pretty until you've actually tried them. I think I'm just going to put small and white boxes on each of these. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So yeah, by the way, you don't have to use Illustrator. Adobe is like stupid in how much money they charge for their stuff. Because you have to do like an endless subscription service basically at this point. There are certainly free options or, not free options, but options you don't have to pay an ongoing fee for. My wife uses all the Adobe suite for her work. So it makes sense for me to also use it, but I would certainly never pay for it if that was not the case. So yeah, this is quick and dirty. Boom. Now let's make this a little bit smaller.
So those are just small boxes and large boxes.
Yeah, these are small minions and big minions. And now through the magic of copy paste, boom.
Now, do we want to do on here? Do we want to do the dice as well, or
the dice? What do you mean the dice?
Like every location has a dice number where we're gonna spawn.
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, so we want to have a randomized spawn. So we've got 12 locations, make it nice and easy. So we're gonna have each die value represented once. Yeah, let's kind of do
twice.
Them, like
each.
Oh, sorry, twice. Yeah, that's what 2 times 6 equals 12. 1 times 6 does not equal 12 unless you're some kind of new math. So sure, I'll get that next.
So Steve Kingsley says he uses Inkscape for a free alternative.
Yep, and I'm sure it's great. Again, like I don't have any attachment to Adobe. I'd be fine. It's already here, and all my like presets and things are already in here. Here, you can see other stuff I have. Look, y'all know like the little like preview I do every week. Here's the format for that. And here's a preview of our content for next week. Steve's doing an awesome review of Isovarian Guard on Tuesday. Actually, this is a very like squatted week. Look, I'm doing a video. Well, I'm only doing 2. I usually do 3, but I couldn't fit 3 of mine because we have so many good things this week. So I'm doing a video Monday and Saturday. Steve's doing Tuesday. Jason's doing Thursday. Barron's doing Friday. And Colin is back from taxes. He's finally done the insanity of being an accountant in tax season. He's doing a video Sunday. So yeah, we have like everybody except you, Peter. You're the only one not on the main channel this week.
I don't main channel.
Where'd my stuff go? There we go. You may channel sometime.
I do.
Champions previews.
Yes.
All right.
And who knows? Maybe I'll be our new Lord of the Rings correspondent. I'll kick Colin out.
I'll stop. Well, if I stop sharing, I gotta search for. Oh my gosh. I like
right.
that.
I will get rid of that. Hold on.
Now I'm just gonna be Googling for some images of different die faces.
What
instead of making them myself?
This?
Well, you know what? I guess I can't make them myself.
Never mind. Hold on. That's why. All right. There we go. I got the Windows capture up above it. We're good. Or actually, I'll just do this and go back to here where I was doing stuff, but I've stopped doing stuff because I am entranced with your.
I am entrancing.
You are entrancing. So what I was doing over here was I copied the PowerPoint that Steve had originally made because that's going to have some icons and things like that we need. And I was going to move it to the main folder, which should be easier to do than what I am doing right now. So let's see. Move to. Here we go. I can figure this out. Rolling rate. Boom. Move.
Hey, y'all didn't know when you were coming on a stream today, you get that good Google Drive action.
Yes. All right. So now we have the copy the scenario over here. Now I thought I had also done other stuff with the board. So let me see. Here are the rules. Okay, so these are the rules we kind of came up with. How did I put those on? Is that in Steve's old version as well?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I definitely put this together somehow, and it wasn't wonderful. Roll and rate images. Okay, so I have a doc here, which I'm assuming 1.2 is the newest version. Okay. All right. So I'm going to copy this over to a doc because nobody can see what I'm looking at right now either. I'm going to make a new doc in the game design drive and move it over there. And then, or no, because we can't really, or should I put it right in this copy of scenario PowerPoint?
Whatever makes you happy, buddy.
There's a lot of stuff in this PowerPoint. Because, well, we've basically gotten rid of the idea that we're going to use the dragons and the scenario on the same board.
Oh, no, it wasn't the idea to separate them so that you can modularly...
Right. So, because, yeah, the idea is to modularly, as Mike was saying, so we can have 4 dragons and 4 scenarios, and then we can
mix and
match however we want. Now, I have pictures of dice over here, so I guess you don't have to do the dice over there.
I already got it. I'm just about done with it.
All right.
Yeah, so, like, you know, if people who have played something like Hadrian's Wall, which has 2 sheets that you're using for each player in the roll and write, we have a similar idea here, except one sheet is you and one sheet is the scenario, and they're going to have, like, their own unique characteristics going on, so...
And we already made our player board, which is not very pretty right now, with some ideas, and you'll get a better idea of how this works when... Oh, and we have ideas at the bottom, I just realized. So this is our crazy minds of game design. Actually, maybe I go full screen with this now. And I hide your browser. Oops, I did the opposite of that. All right. All right, so let me transition so we're big screen. So yeah, at the bottom of our sheet, so when we're working on something, a lot of times what we'll do is, again, we've got some graphic design, which I realize some of this is actually wrong graphic design. It's older versions of tokens and things we've had. But so this is like our player sheet right here, at least our prototype player sheet, right? It's going to look much prettier than this. But again, don't invest a lot of time in it. And then we have ideas down at the bottom here for other dragon things. So what we'll do is brainstorm a lot of times. You didn't see this, but like, what are some special powers that we could have? And so on the bottom are all these special powers that we figured we could use on these. And maybe some of them will make it in the base game, and some of them might not make it until an expansion or whatever we decide to do with them. Some of them won't be good enough to use at all. But so we've got all of this player board up here, and this is just for one of the dragons, because what we're going to do is test one dragon on one scenario, and that way we can at least do proof of concept that the design works before we put a lot of time into creating more dragons and more scenarios. And maybe that'll be another night, like how do we come up with a scenario and things like that. But we've already got at least an idea. Oh, look at you with big yellow numbers.
Trying to make it clear.
Yes. So looking at our player board, we don't have turn sequence and stuff. All that was on the main dragon board, which I've now deleted a lot of. But let me, let me grab from.
We have the old version, right?
Yep. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Let me grab our physical copies that we did, that I made all my notes on from our playtest session at Unpub a little while ago. All right, so we got the scenario over here. So it's turn sequence and then enemy roll were kind of the two key boxes that we had on here.
Right.
So we can do that at the top, I guess. So let me copy this, make another box. I don't know what that is, but that's fine. So we can do turn sequence. And then we'll do bullet points here. Roll. What we decided on 6 dice, right? Because we have we have changed it a little bit. And then you select your aspect. Then you take your actions. Then you do your magic. Are we still doing that? Actions then magic?
I like that separation. Just kind of make it feel more unique and different.
All right, and then the minions are gonna attack. Then we do. So are we gonna do the boss activation the same, where they either move one space towards you or attack?
I mean, for this basic scenario,
Right, for this scenario.
So.
Okay. So boss activation. And
or alternatively, to like put more pressure on the players to manage minions, we have them move toward the adjacent space with the most minions, unless the space they're already in has most minions or something like that, you know?
Well, this doesn't describe the boss activation. It just says the boss activates, right?
Sure.
So that's good. And then before the enemy roll, we actually said it's better to mark off a time. Which reminds me, we probably need a time track somewhere. We can use pretty much anything for that.
Yeah.
We did it near the boss. Here, let me move this over here so you have more space to make that map bigger if you want.
Sure.
And then I'd like a box around this or something just to... But I'm not sure how to do that.
How to do a box?
Oh, text box.
You just...
Oh, there's a text box button.
And I did. You just click on it and do a border. Well, now it's got green and black around it.
Oh, no. That's because it was highlighted. Oh, that's because that was my highlighting was green.
Yes.
Thank you for putting a border on the bottom one. All right. So we're changing all this. So enemy roll. Or
what was your idea? Because people kept on forgetting to mark time. What was your idea to like?
My idea is to put the time track right here between turn sequence and enemy roll. So like right above the enemy roll. So like before you do the enemy roll, you're supposed to mark the time. Yeah. So if you've got hourglasses or something, you can put in there.
Finding one right now.
All right. So are we gonna try to stick with what we had? So like 1 to 4 is spawn 1. Like, are we is all that part's stacking, right?
Yeah.
At least for so how are we activating the enemy? Is it whatever dice we use, regardless of what we use them for? You roll them, and that's going to determine what happens during the enemy roll.
That's what we had said. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's worth it to have like some kind of differentiation between dice that are using a slightly different way, you know.
Yeah. So 5 to 6 would be spawn 1 and activate.
How many turns did we have? Here, actually, I think I have.
12. We did 12 life and 12 turns. So if you want to do boss life somewhere also, we could put that on the bottom or whatever else. So spawn 1 and activate. And then... that's a 7 activate. Spawn 1, 7 activate. That's a thing. Prepare to spawn 1 and 7 activate. What? I don't know why that didn't work. I tried to copy and paste and it's like, no, you're not allowed to do that here. We don't do that copying or pasting stuff. There you go. That made it better.
All right, then you want separate boss life?
Yes. Because first of all, then we could vary it. It wouldn't have to be 12 and 12. And then the other benefit of it is, it's just confusing-ish to have, like, there's no reason not to keep them separate.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So these numbers are 7 to 10. Don't worry, chat. I will be with you in a minute because I have seen that there is some chat. So, but like I said, we're like trying to work and stream at the same time was my idea, and it might.
It was an idea.
It might have been a terrible idea. Well, I mean, you guys tell us in the comments, hello, whether you like what we're doing here.
So, I imagine like watching us play and give thoughts.
We are going to do that next.
Might be more interesting. Yeah, we'll try to get to that soon. That's the idea.
Well, yes. But I figured lots of people have dreams of being designers, and they have this ideas of what it might look like.
We have dreams of being designers. Maybe one day we'll get there.
But like, people don't know what design looks like. Guess what, everybody? This is what design looks like.
For better or worse, this is the beauty of it.
Well, at least our process, because I'm curious if everybody has the same process.
I would just imagine no, right? Just by rules of life and the unique perspectives people have.
And should I do activate 2 times or 2 times activate? Activate 2 times, fine, right?
It's fine.
It literally doesn't matter. So what would
I would say activate. You already got the consistency of spawn 3. I don't think you need.
Got it.
In fact, here we go.
All right, and then we will have another call out box on the bottom or somewhere else. For like.
Now we have a dragon board ready to go, right? So can we just test this out?
Yeah. No. What I was just saying is, like, over here we can, like, I have other rules on here. So like, boss enters when you've gathered from 6 spaces, right?
Gotcha.
So just so we remember how to play too, maybe I'll put those bullets in here.
Have room. Go ahead.
So, boss.
Here, while you do that, I'll go see.
Yeah, why don't you look at the chat?
So I see Patrick in the chat. He says, ignore us. That's fine. Thank you. Tis a Scratch is interested, but has to go to bed because they're in the UK and it's past 2 a.m. But hey, thanks for joining us for a little bit. All right, so we should be trying this out in a minute or two because we have a draft player board already made. So we're just going to import this into TTS. We'll show you. TTS is pretty easy to use. Tabletop Simulator. I should probably not use acronyms right away. That's on Steam. It's not free, but it's a one-time negligible cost. Really, the worst thing about it is how annoying it can be to use sometimes and how computer destroying it could be on like your processor speed and the heat of your PC. But yes, we use it for all our prototyping and for pretty much all of our play testing now. We don't do much physical play testing if we can help it. Peter still probably has nightmares of all the times he had to print out 100 cards and token. Oh my god, the tokens. Oh my god, the tokens.
So for Salvation Road, we promised out 10 print and play copies of that to people who published it.
Right.
That took me well over 40 hours of work to make 10 prototypes, and I guarantee none of them ever played it once. I guarantee it, like, because I made nice prototypes for those. Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. So what did we decide to do if there's already a large and a small minion on a space?
Then you suffer 1 damage. So that would only be if both spots of that number are full.
Yep.
So if there's a small and a large on one 5 and the other 5, and you have to spawn 1, then you would take 1 damage instead. So it's a.
So when we spawn, are we spawning closest, furthest, or player choice?
Let's say closest that can fit it.
Okay.
Player choice if equidistant, I guess.
I'm just gonna put closest here so this is the other thing we do. We don't write out a whole rules draft or anything like that. Literally, this is our rules for the game. Like. We have no other rules for this game beside what you're seeing here. So maybe not all this makes it on the final draft of the game, but this is like our rules document. So like after this is going to be our game. Like we have this and we have the dragon board and whatever we remember from our discussion.
Well, we write up real rules before we ask anybody else to like play test it.
Of
put
course.
It out there for the community. But yes, for us, this is all we need because who cares? Again, a big thing. Kind of like for the graphic design, like minimum viable product, not for like actual product, but like minimal viable testing product is what you want. Like the dirtiest, ugliest Google Doc that you can print, something you can like import into TTS. That's what you want to try out for your game because inevitably, 99% of the time, you're going to have to change 50 things like in the first turn of the game. You'll be like, this is terrible.
Yes.
Now, we played this one quite a bit. We're not sure if like some of the new things we're putting in are going to work as well as we'd like, but it shouldn't be a dumpster fire. Like, we know that it's worked in the past, and we've made changes based on feedback. But yes, do not put a lot of time. I mean, especially the internet being what it is, you can find art assets. It's not that hard. Are you almost ready, Peter?
Yes. I'm thinking of, there was one other rule I thought we had, which I don't remember. It was something about, so large are going to attack for 1 and have 1 life. Or I mean 2 life. Smaller, yeah. 1 and 1. If you defeat a large, you get a resource from that space.
Correct.
Right? And then I thought there was something else. What am I missing? Oh, boss activation. Yes. So activate is boss moves.
Attacks if on your space, if not moves 1 toward you, is what we're trying out for now.
Okay. So activate, boss attacks or moves closer. Again, I don't need these to be exact wordings because I just need it to be enough that if we are looking at this in a
that
month,
we know how to play.
That we know how to, yeah. How do I?
Yeah, and that's a good point Peter brings up. Have good enough notes that you know what the heck you're talking about a few days later or a few weeks later, because life gets in the way sometimes. You can shrink. Yeah, I mean, you can move the map. You can shrink the map. It doesn't have to be that big.
Boink.
How dare you?
How dare I boink your map?
I mean, that's inappropriate anyway. Don't boink anybody's map. I
don't know what that means. Okay, so all right. So now that I've done all this, how do I export this to a PDF? Because that's what we really need.
So if you go to File, Download, and then it has lots of options, and one of them is PDF.
File, but I don't want the dice and stuff on the left. So how do I do that?
It's only going to take so like right now you're going to lose what's over here on the right. It will only take things that are actively in the PowerPoint or the Google Slides.
All right.
There's a WW here. There we go. That should fit everything. So you should be able to export that if you want.
Okay. So I do File, Download.
Download, PDF.
Boom. Where is it downloading? Oh, to my computer, which is good. That's where we need it. Okay. All right.
So TTS is very easy for importing PDFs. JPEGs and PNGs work pretty well too. And for something like this, we're just literally going to lock it in Tabletop Simulator, and then we can write on it, so the roll and write stuff will work, theoretically.
So what I'm showing everybody now is the original design document that we had. Like, literally, it's like 9 dice per player, 3 for prep, 6 for players, roll the same dice. Like, this is, like, literally the initial concept of what we're doing, and none of it applies. Well, that's not true, but a lot of it doesn't apply anymore. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to print this, because it's a document, but I'm not printing to my printer. I'm going to print it to PDF. I only need page 1, so I'm just going to do page 1. I'm going to print that as a PDF onto, well, I'll just put it in downloads as well. See, we got copy of scenario over there. We got, hopefully, this, oh, I need a name for it. Ruby board. Save. And guess what, everybody? We're about to have some fun now, because now we go from design part of the night to playtesting part of the night. And again, we will we'll see how this goes. And if it's awesome, everyone in the world will see it. And if it's terrible, no one, deleted. You will be the only people to ever have seen this. Now, that doesn't mean whether the game goes good or terrible, because
right, it's more about
yeah. It's more about whether this video is interesting to people or not.
We've already lost that battle.
Well, we haven't lost many people from the viewership, so like.
Oh, you think they're still watching? I think they went to sleep. They're getting a sandwich.
I mean, honestly, I sometimes fall asleep while
streaming. I saw that one Marvel stream. Terrence did great without you.
Did that actually happen? That might have happened.
I don't think that happened. I'm just joking.
Oh my gosh, look at this. This is like Oh, this is when I was trying to test Steve's. Did we never test the roll and write online? I thought we did.
I don't remember.
Oh, well. All right, so I'm deleting all Steve's stuff. Bye-bye. All right, so we go to objects. We go components, custom PDF. Oops, I don't want it over there. I want it here. Let's look for it under downloads, Ruby board, cloud, upload, import. Wait, what? Sure. Did that do what I wanted it to? That does not look like anything I would want it to be. What happened? I had 2 copies. All right. Games. Roll and write.
That looks like something.
I mean, it was something, all right. All right, so let's try again. Components, custom. Well, I made 2 of them for no apparent reason. So you got to make one, and then you got to right click. You left click, then right click. I don't know why it's that way. All right, Ruby board. Okay, so there is our beautiful player board. I'm going to shrink it a little bit just because we both need one. Then custom, PDF.
Oh, we're both playing? I can just watch you. I can cheerlead.
I mean, we will go twice as fast if we're both playing, right? Do you not want
what?
Well, we will.
Is it not solo? I thought it was solo.
Yeah, but if we're both playtesting at the same time, we do twice as much.
All right.
It might
half the.
It might be
the consistency in commentary is what I'm thinking.
Yes. All right. Well, maybe you're right. All right. So for now, just because so if we were not doing this for stream, I think we would probably be both playtesting at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, like you can talk, like you can play while I describe what you're doing, for example, maybe, and like kind of give some commentary.
Or we could do the opposite.
Either one works.
Because you're better than me at games.
I mean, that's not true.
I was trying to... Oh, RPG kit. Here we go. Come on, dragon. Here's the little dragon.
So, most of the stuff we're doing
Wait, that's a chicken. What is that?
That is a dragon chicken. That's pretty terrifying.
That is...
Like, is that like it's supposed to be like a cockatrice or something, maybe?
I don't know, but it is a dragon
chicken. A lizard chicken, right? That freezes you with its vision.
It's a
let us know, chat. Is a cockatrice a dragon lizard that can petrify people? I think that's right, but it's been a while.
All right.
We need some kind of boss figure too. Do you have like that?
Yeah. Let me go to the RPG kit. So what is he supposed to be? He's supposed to be some kind of like champion or undead hero type thing. Here you go. This guy's got stuff on his head. He's a dwarven. Whatever. Okay. So now we should probably save this while we remember. So, modding, workshop upload, update workshop, FF roll and write, update. Boom, boom, boom. Like, there's my contribution. So do we have a starting space? Are we rolling the starting space? Do we care?
Yeah, roll the starting space and pick one of them. Why not?
All right. So we roll. We end up on a 6, so we can either go to the forest, which gathers meat, or the outpost, which gathers gold.
That is interesting. Ortiz Lozitro, maybe that's how the username is said. They say that they've they got a game that has, I think, bad reviews is what they meant, but it's got beautiful components, and they want to try to like kind of convert it into a solo adventure game. I will say absolutely, especially as somebody who has done a ton of like solo variants for games and things. If you want to kind of dip your toes into design, house ruling, Steve does like his design. A lot of it is, I would say, house ruling and balancing things that way. That's a good way to get started. Or designing like a variant for a game you already like is a good way to get started. You can jump straight into a full-on game and to see what happens, but you don't have to. All right, so Peter has rolled the 6 dice. Everything's controlled by the dice.
I thought we had a spawn at the beginning of the game too. Now I don't see that anywhere, but I remember. Oh, hold on.
It kind of makes sense that we would.
So
So just 2 spawn, 1 spawn. I don't know.
Do I have notes on that? All right. So this was a 4 and a 5. We'll just remember that. And I will roll those for 2 spawn. And we will spawn on 2 and 1. And do we say closest? Right?
Closest, yeah. And then
all
it's
right.
tied, you pick. So Peter could do a large or a small.
Wait, why is this
That's
white?
not the right color, dude.
Really? Of all the colors it could have given me, it gave me white. That is still not a... I had to hit apply. So we got a small. I don't know how I'm going to mark that it's dead, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to... Like, the idea is that we circle them or do one hash mark and do the other hash mark when it's killed. I don't know how to make that happen with TTS.
I could make it red, or I could... Oh, there's a circle here. What do I do for a circle? Oh, that's just really big. Well, never mind. I don't want you, circle. That's fine. There's a line there now. Everything is fine. So we rolled a 2 and a what? A 1. So the closest one is equidistant. So we'll do the 1 in the corner. So is the red dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do the deaths. You get to kill stuff.
Yep. That's what I'm good for.
All right. Oh, I got to go back to fingers. All right. Oh, and then we said this was a 4 and a 5. Now we have a first turn mulligan. Again, I didn't write any of these rules down, so we should probably note them.
We don't need to have a first turn mulligan, dude.
You don't want to do that?
I don't think we need that in the rolling, right? So we are like kind of designing this to be partially similar to the main Flame Fang game, but yeah, I don't think a mulligan is necessary for a dice-based game.
Why did you put a mark there? You bother me with that, Mike. All right. All right. So basically, I get to. All right. Let's go through it in order. Roll 6 dice. Then we chose, or actually, it should be roll 2, or roll used.
Oh yeah,
dice.
roll unused dice.
Unused.
So
dice.
basically, like
no, not unused. Used.
But yeah, you know what I mean. Peter's gonna pick one of these rows, and only those dice will be used. So you might want to pick the one with 3 dice because he'll get more done, but there are other consequences to that. The other dice will stay around. So eventually, theoretically, you'll end up picking the other ones because the top ones focus mainly on attacking, the middle ones focus mainly on movement, the bottom ones focus mainly on gathering resources to grow yourself, become a bigger, stronger dragon. That's sort of the concept here. So which one do you want to do,
With
Peter?
that being said, I think I'm going to go with the bottom row here because I want to gather some stuff first turn, and we're just going to do this to gather a resource.
So you can place the dice here. All these extra spots are ones he has to level up into. That's what these are generic resource icon that we're just using for the other game. Again, none of this is even slightly what it would actually look like. But
how much life do we have?
3. I think we said to start.
I thought we said 4.
Again, you shouldn't be marking them. I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out.
We'll mark them, and then you put them red. Red is dead.
All right, fair enough.
Do we start with 3 or 4? 3?
Let's see. I mean, it's whatever we want.
Well, because of the growth giving us life, I think we decided on 3.
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
All right. So this row right here, you see the infinite symbol? We could use as many dice. So I could gather and then gather again. That could be my choice here. But instead,
Alternatively, once per turn, he can do one of any action in this boost space. So these 3 are always available. Gaining 1 magic basically saves actions for you later down here. Boots is just a wild, but you can only put a single die in each of these per round. So when he has 2 dice, it doesn't matter as much. And then finally, this one is to gain a max heart. So basically gain more life. And also grow, but you need resources to actually like buy access to one of these upgraded actions.
Yeah, so basically I have access to any of these infinite actions right now and any of these on the bottom row. But I can only choose one aspect. When I choose whatever aspect I choose, I also get the bottom row. So I'm going to put this 5 here and gather a resource. So I'll do the marking. So I look at the space I'm on. It has meat there. So I'm going to gather a meat.
Yeah, this is terrible in TTS. If you can actually like circle things and cross them out as
yes,
might do,
but then I'm going to grow. So that gives me a life.
Oh, right away. All right.
Yep. And so if you could red mark that resource,
yeah,
I don't have it anymore. And now I'm going to mark this
Look, Peter made it like slightly bloody. I kind of smudged it.
Nice. All
Very
right.
sell the effect.
So it's a flame. That's a flaming meat.
Oh, it is. Ah, there we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Nice. All right. So I am. I just used that meat to grow over here. Now I didn't have to grow in this aspect. I could grow over here, which lets me attack an adjacent space. I could have grown over here, which lets me attack and +1 to it if I was attacking a large monster. Ooh, that seems really good. Now I'm regretting my choices. But instead, there is an eraser here, so I could do that. I decided to move and grow. Give myself the option to move and grow rather than getting the life and growing.
Could also theoretically let him grow twice in a turn that he picked the 5/6 aspect.
Oh, look at that. I didn't even think about that. So we do have a maximum of 4 resources, unused resources at a time. So we can't just gather that infinitely. But I'm up to having 4 life total, and I've used some resources. Do you want to take note? I'm going to take notes. So some things that aren't marked anywhere. So it's 2 starting spawn. What else did we say? 3 starting life. Then we roll to spawn. Roll to spawn dragon.
Well, I think we spawn ourselves first so that we have some
/ player
nearness,
choice.
farness to spawn with.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, the order of those would be kind of reversed, but whatever. All right, so those are my notes so far.
I like this dwarf guy you got.
I mean,
fun.
That and the cockatrice, like that's what people are here for. Cockatrice. So that is literally one of our turns. So we rolled the 6 dice.
Well, hold on. So there is the magic phase.
Yep.
If we had these things checked off with this dragon, they're checked off left to right. Magic will work differently for other dragons. They become extra actions we can use, but we can only use 2 of them per turn. Out of all the ones we've circled through either this any action or through things like this that get us extra magic. The idea of that is to have some other way to like kind of save up actions when you don't have things that are valuable to do yet. And the reason for the 2 magic return limit is that we found in some of the early playtesting that you get to save up a ton of magic and then like one-shot the boss the second he comes out. So we wanted to introduce some limitations so that it didn't break the entire game there.
And I just remembered the goal of this scenario is to gather from 6 different spaces. So normally, again, we would circle this resource. If you want to do that, you can. But yeah, so we're just going to mark that we have gathered from this space. We can continually gather from this space, but it will not contribute toward the 6 we need to spawn the boss. So once we've gathered from 6 different spaces, we spawn the boss. And every scenario is going to be different. That's just this scenario. The way to spawn the boss is to gather. Basically, we're baby dragons right now. We're flying around and just getting resources and growing to survive. And then once we've gathered from enough places that they basically notice us and send a hero out to kill us.
And in a design way, like you need to have reasons for your players to move. So in this one, you got to move to manage the minions. They don't build up too much on specific numbers, and you got to move to help you fulfill the requirements of the mission. Otherwise, you could just like sit on meat for a while and gather it forever and level up a bunch. Which is, you can also do that. You just won't. You'll have to do a lot more later to catch up.
All right, so now we would have done our magic phase, but again, we have no magic marked. We would, even if we did, we wouldn't have had to use it. It just sticks with us. Now we do minions attack. So these minions attack just on their spaces. They would do 1 damage to you per minion on the space. So if there was a small and a large there, which is the maximum that can be there at one time, there, and maybe we don't even make it a limit, right? We could just do small, then large, then small, then large, then small.
Well, but the whole point is that we want to have a negative when you aren't managing them. So if we let 5 spawns happen on each space, we're never going to have any kind of urgency to defeat minions because that'll give the player so much. The whole idea of the 1 small, 1 large was to force a more urgent need to defeat minions in a timely fashion.
Yeah, because then you could go small again, and then small again. Or is it always large, even if we defeat the small?
No. You can spawn anything that is not there. If there's not a small there, you can spawn a small. And if spawn a small, if there's not a large there, you can spawn a large.
But if we've
If
killed all the
neither is there,
small, you have to spawn a
then you
large.
would have to spawn a large, and if you've killed 5 minions there, you have to spawn the other 2. If both, I mean, God, I don't think the game will last that long. But if both of these
Well,
are
if the
totally
same
full,
number keeps getting rolled. All right, but
sure.
So, all right. So we do minions attack now. They don't attack us because we're not on their space. Boss activation. The boss isn't even on the board yet, so the boss does not activate. And then we mark a time. So you can go ahead and do that. And again, we have 12 turns to defeat this. Now we do an enemy roll. So the way the enemy rolls is whatever dice you use this turn. So I use these 2 dice. We go and roll, and it's going to determine the enemy behavior. So that's a 10, which seems bad. So we look down here. 10 is spawn 2. So we go ahead and take those 2 dice again, roll them again to see where we spawn. And I will do this so you don't have to change colors. We got a 1 and a 6. So the 6 is our space. And the 1 is up here again, or we could...
You think you can kill? You got a lot of attack saved up. You can get a free resource by killing a big there.
Oh.
You don't have to spawn a small.
Oh, we get to choose. That's interesting. Correct. See, now this is how design happens, right? Like, we get... all right. Yeah.
Yeah, and also just to kind of show, our brains... one of the ideas of having you rolling the same dice you use is to make it not always the obvious choice to like necessarily use the aspect that you have the most dice for, because you are inviting nastier repercussions from the boss with that. That's the thought, at least.
Yep. So 6 and a 3. So start at the beginning. So we just rolled the dice. We choose our aspect. And we should have a token for that, honestly. No, I don't want to. So objects, components, marbles. Actually, marbles is a terrible idea. Those will roll all over the place. Let's do go chips. There we go. So we get to choose our aspect. As you said, if we're going to attack, let's do it. Right? So
sure.
I'll use 2 of these to attack. They could be the same dice, different dice, doesn't matter. So 2 to attack. That does 2 damage here.
I got to mark him.
Mark him dead. So when you kill a large minion, you get the resource of the space you are on. So I get another meat. Now this is limited, by the way.
So another reason we again wanted to introduce a lot of things to reduce complacency. It's sort of similar for people who have played like a lot of tactical games. You want to like remove turtling strategies generally. Like a lot of games will try to get rid of the ability to like just kind of hunker down and just do the same thing. Or like 4X games and Civilization games will like reward you for exploring new places or finding new spots, because it is often the death of tabletop games to have like minimal movement, regardless of what the genre is.
Now, the other thing I can do with resources is use them for, so let's say I'm up to 4 and like I'm trying to gather, and I'm like, oh, I have 4. What do? I can always activate an infinite space of your aspect. So I can always use this meat at any time, just cross it off. So it'd normally be circled and then you'd cross it off. I could cross it off to do my infinite aspect, or infinite action, which in this aspect is to attack for 1 damage. If I had Dragonstone, I could use an icon of my choice. So that
any action, any of the 3. It's basically the same as the boost up here.
Yeah, gather, move, or attack. And if you have a gold, you could always spend it to gain 2 magic. Again, you're gaining magic left to right, but you can spend it in any order you want. Once they're basically circled, you can cross them off in any order you want.
Yeah, and just to note, these are supposed to be better and better. So food is the weakest, Dragonstone in the middle, gold the strongest, which matches, just if you're curious, there are 5 spaces that give you food on the board, 4 that give you Dragonstone, 3 that give you gold. So gold is a bit more rare in the ability to gather it, but then it has a more powerful ability than you do.
And honestly,
little things you might not care about.
The other thing we could do is make the gold spaces have 3 large and 2 small, if we want to further differentiate them. And again, because we're doing different dragons and different maps, every map could be different as well. How you gather it, why it's harder to get or easier to get. So maybe on this generic map, this is just, there's less spaces that have it. But maybe on other maps, there's tons of, like it could be a gold rush map, have a ton of gold. Well, first of all, which is bad because you have a limited number of gold you can gather. but maybe those gold spaces are harder or whatever. You know, we can play with a lot of things because these boards are separated.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I still have 1 dice to use. Maybe I grow. Maybe I just gain a magic at this point.
Or move to a new spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about. I mean, I'm probably gonna move next turn.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually gain a magic. So again, I'll just mark under
Why
it.
don't you underline it? Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it, so you can still see what the icon is.
Yeah, because again, normally you'd circle it, but whatever, not in this situation. All right, so that is that. So we did our action. So I could use that magic right now to gather from this space. Well, I don't want to because I've already gathered from this space. And again, I am on a time pressure here. Like I have a certain limited number of turns to do this. So not going to use my magic. Minions attack. Not me though. Boss activates. Not on the board. Mark a time. Mike, you're up. And then we do the enemy roll with all the dice we used, no matter what we used them for. And this is more dice, so watch, we're going to roll less. And we did. 6, which is good. So we spawn 1 and activate 1. I forgot to put the other thing, if there's no boss on the board, is you mark off the right most resource of
That's
the
what
space you're on.
I was trying to remember.
Yeah, so let me, I'm going to make a note of that.
Yep.
So
yeah, I knew we had something that happened that when the boss
activates.
The boss is going to spawn when we've, like Peter said, completed the first part of the mission and
with no
marked
boss.
Off 6 spaces by gathering there.
Equals mark resource.
Here, Peter, you're spawning on a 5. Which is going to be this one, the cave. When it's small or large?
Small. I got it.
Oh, you got it. Never mind. All right.
Wait, is that the closest? Really? Oh, yeah. Well, 1, 2, or 3. Look at you. It's like you know what you're doing.
I mean, I'm just making it up. I just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I did it again.
And you marked off my rightmost meat. So yeah, you don't lose the resource you've already gathered. You just lose the ability to gather that. So that's the other reason I don't want to sit on something I have a lot of resources for. Even, let's say I had marked all these resources off. I wouldn't want to be on a meat space because I could potentially even like spoil the meat or whatever. All right. But now that we've explained the basics, we did the enemy roll. So now we roll to put them back on our board.
Oh, look at you. That could be a big turn if you want. That's a lot of dice.
I mean, it's a lot of movement, but yes.
Well, you can grow, and then
yeah. Well, I'm gonna move over here. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Where the small minion is.
So yeah, let me change my aspect. Let's do this aspect. I'm gonna move first. Gonna move where the small minion is. Then I'm gonna boost to kill it.
I mean, I might gather, because then he can grow into something that attacks him. You know what I mean?
I've got to gather in magic. Oh, but then I can't grow.
But it'll be too late to use it for growing and stuff.
Yes. All right, you're right. So I'm going to go ahead and gather with that action. So that does...
On Dragonstone.
Yep.
And I'll mark the space.
You'll mark the space. I got a Dragonstone, which I could use the Dragonstone to just attack if I wanted.
That's true.
Rather than doing that. But let's show the fun stuff, which is growing. So I get another life. Badink. And I also get to choose something to grow into. Now, I could buy this for 1, which is attack, and 2 to a large. Or I could do the 2, which activates an unlocked...
1 cost space, which would right now only be this. So I don't think that's the one you want to do first.
So I gather... I gather and then I'd move and grow, which is... interesting.
Now, if you move away from any space with enemies, you take an automatic damage no matter how many enemies are there. That's sort of a retaliatory, like, opportunity attack situation in the core design.
So if I gain a magic, that would only let me move. Maybe I just grow. So I'm going to grow into this 1.
You want to spend your food, I assume?
I'm going to spend my food, yeah. All right. So I'm going to grow into this one, which let's mark this off to remember that I have it now. And then I'm going to use it. Boom. 1 damage or 2 if it was large. Go ahead and kill that minion. Dead. Dead and dead. So I've got 2. I've gathered from 2 of the 6 spaces I need to. I've leveled up on a couple of my level 1 stuff. I feel pretty good about it. All right. So, we do our magic if we want. Gathering a Dragonstone is not the worst thing in the world. That would let me level up next turn. I'm going to do it. Go ahead and mark that off. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and gather. I probably regret that later.
I think we already said this, but if Peter had more magic circled, you don't have to use them in left-right order. They are unlocked in left-right order, but can be used freely.
All right. So
this could be a big enemy turn.
4 dice.
Oh, I gotta mark time. Don't forget that.
Right. So magic, minions attack, boss activates, nothing, mark time, and then enemy roll. Boom, boom, boom. All right. That's bad. 12, 15. 13, 14, 15. Let's consult our chart. Yep. So we go ahead and roll 3 dice. Boom, boom, boom. 5, 5, 6. That doesn't seem wonderful. All right, so 6 has got to be here, clearly. I'm just going to do a small one.
5's equidistant, at least.
So I do this, and then I determine where I want a large one. I'll put a large one over here.
So 5 is a number Peter would... Oh, my gosh, dude.
I went big.
Peter wants to theoretically get over to the 5s at some point, because if he doesn't kill any of those guys, he might be taking some automatic damage pretty soon.
Now, here's a question. They're equidistant now, but let's say I was here. And I rolled a 5.
You can only spawn where there's room. So if you rolled a single 5, you would put it there.
Okay, so you always spawn closest, then furthest. But if there's no place to spawn,
if there's nowhere to spawn in either space of that number, then you're going to take the automatic damage.
All right. So having a movement turn this turn wouldn't be the worst. But guess what? I just had my movement turn. So
you're rolling 4 dice. You might have anything.
Well, yeah, but I got no dice sitting there.
Or you might not have a movement turn. Never mind.
Super attacky, if you were wondering. All right, so wait a minute. But this is what? Can activate adjacent. Can be activated.
Can be activated twice, so you can.
Well, no. Can attack. Oh, can attack adjacent. So it can attack adjacent, and you can do this more than once. This one's infinite, but this one you can do twice. So it's move and attack, move and attack. You'd have to use 2 different dice to do that. So that probably should be clearer. I mean, we understand can be activated twice, but maybe players wouldn't. Because players might think you put 1 dice there and it activates twice. The can is supposed to prevent that, but whatever. All right. I am going to... I think I'm doing a gather turn. Yep. So we will choose our gathering aspect, and we will first boost to move anywhere. Badink. And then I will gather from there. So I get a gold, which seems good.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to grow, but I'll just point out you could have moved and grown instead of doing a boost to move.
And that I would have only had 2 at that point, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that was a good call. I did not. You're smarter than I am. Let's go ahead and grow into a 2. So this one is 2 moves, a gather, and an attack, but it requires
you need to put
2
dice there. Yeah.
This one is, well, again, I'm looking at my 2s or a 1. You know what? I have a lot of attacky stuff going on. I think I like this move and gather.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Give you a really nice turn next time.
Yep. So
here, I'll erase the gold. Well, I guess you did get it eventually.
I will get the gold after, but I'm going to go ahead and mark this as what I gained. You know what? I'm going to actually make these bigger,
and you
too.
Gathered here. So you got 3 spaces gathered out of 6 to spawn the boss.
Yep. So I gathered there. I got my gold. So I'm sitting on a gold. I could use the gold now to get to magic. And I'm thinking I do want to do that. So let's go ahead and mark off the gold. And I will give myself 2 magic. Just in case I want to use that at any point coming up. I don't need it this turn, I don't think. So that's the other thing. If I didn't have this marked, I might have wanted to move, even though it would give me a damage to a place where, like, there's enemies. But at this point...
Now that you have that, you'll be in a pretty solid space next turn.
Yeah, because I think I'm going to move here, kill this thing, and then move here and kill both of these is my plan.
I don't feel that much, but we'll see what happens once you roll.
Settle down, buddy. I mean, I have 4, right? It costs me 1 to move and attack, and I do have a free attack during magic.
And you might have 5. You don't know what these 2 dice are going to be.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we've done that. I'm not going to use.
Are you using any magic?
I am not. I'm not using magic.
Okay.
Minions
I'm
attack.
going to mark off time then.
Boss attack. Mark time. Enemy roll. Boom, boom, boom. Enemy rolled a 3, which seems good. It's just a 1 spawn. Single spawn of a 3, which doesn't seem like a number that I've rolled very often.
Right next to you.
Yeah, do I want a big one for the meat gathering?
And you do have that movement action that lets you kill a big one in a single die, which is certainly nice.
Yeah, we'll do it. Rawr, I am big one. All right, so there's that. All right, so that was that turn. Let's go ahead and roll it, and oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
do a gather turn, Peter.
yeah. So I'm gonna do a movement turn. Use no dice. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna go full on Leroy Jenkins here. We're gonna go ahead and move and gather. So I'm gonna move here and gather that meat. I'll mark the meat gathered if you will mark the
mark the location.
Location. Yep. So how many locations is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 locations. I might even be able to do another location this turn. So I'm going to move and attack can be activated twice, but I only have 1 resource right now, so that's not really viable. I need 2 damage, so let's go ahead and 1, 2. Kill.
He is dead. You get another meat.
So because we killed a large one, we get a meat. That's that. All right, I got 2 dice here. Do I want to grow? I'd like that 3rd one, right? Because this seems real good.
You could boost to gather and then grow if you really want to grow to a 3.
Well, that's the question.
Use it this turn now.
Or do I move? I gotta. So maybe I get a magic, because then I could use my 2 magic to move and grow, like even on my off turn. But that would move me in a space with a bad dude. So here's what I do. No. I don't have a gather, unfortunately. But I'm going to boost to move. Rawr. And then I'm just going to attack and kill that jobber.
Yep.
Because I don't like minions. So you may wonder, who's the good guy in this story? And I'm going to tell you it's me. I'm just saying. Even though I'm running around killing jobbers and
they're all bad. It's like True Lies.
Reaping the land, I'm still saying. So the concept of this game is you are a dragon, and it's to kind of put you in the mindset of like why dragons like do stuff. Well, if I don't kill him, he's gonna hurt me, right? So like, gotta do it. I'm just going around trying to survive here. Like, and I get bored if I keep, getting the same stuff all the time. Like, I need variety in my life. Like,
I was thinking of it as like you're scouting the area around you, but if you want to make it that you just have finicky tastes at eating, that's fine too.
I mean, or ADHD, like I just can't sit still. Whatever reason. Okay, so that's a decent roll actually. So 6,
12,
10, 12. That's not
way
terrible.
Worse with you rolling.
Could have been way worse. So we spawn 2 and activate 1. So I am on a meat. Right, oh no!
Yeah, we are very much not going to be able to get meat soon.
Yeah, that's not good. All right, so we do spawn 2. So let's roll these 2. Bing, bing, bing. Do. A 2 and a 3. So not my space. So right next to me.
Do the one to the right if you don't. Okay, you can't do that though. Then
fine.
The 2's right here.
Yeah, it's fine. Now, if I kill him, that's not considered gathering, though. So, like, I wouldn't mark off the space for having gathered from that space, correct? Or
if you kill a big one? Of course that counts as gathering.
Oh, okay.
Free gather. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think, why make an exception, right?
Well, that's the easiest way to explain the rule, then. If you kill a large minion,
get a free gather action.
Yep, perfect. And then we don't have exceptions, stuff like that. So, again... This is how design works, right? We're playing it. We're talking through it.
Who knows?
For us.
I think some people just write everything out and don't play it all and like really fine tune it. Oh, but you didn't want to use any? Well, I guess it's too late anyway. Magic.
No, I said no. I said no.
Okay. Is that your roll?
That was my roll.
Ah.
Seems interesting, right? Yeah. I mean, it's a gathery kind of turn, which we could spawn the boss here, right?
If you can, yeah, you only got to do the space you're on and one more after that. That's not much.
And I mean, if we do it either, if we do the move one, we wouldn't. Now, the question is, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something, right?
you could do the move turn. You could move with one action and then kill a large minion for your second, get a automatic gather from it.
Yeah, but I really want to gather from here first.
You definitely don't have much room for food, just saying.
I mean, yeah. Well, so next turn, this is the goal, is to get that automatic gather. So I'm not going to try to win this turn. So let's do the gather from my space. Not win, but I'm going to try not to bring out the boss this turn. So I'm going to gather from this space, which gets me a meat. Definitely a limited resource for me now. I mean, no reason not to grow, right? The question is, attack and do 2 magic? Because we know we're going here next turn, right? Or this, I can move and grow. I can... Oh, no, I haven't unlocked this yet. So I'm going to grow for sure. So I get a life. And you marking off all 3 already?
Oh, I'm sorry. How many are you going to spend? You spend 2?
No, I'm going to spend 3. I think I'm going to do the attack and gain 2
That's
magic,
what I figured,
right? Yeah. Seems like the best thing, because like I said, I'm going this aspect next. I could have done this, and then right away may lose a life. Oh, that might have been a better one. I could have come over here. You know what? I'm doing it. Changing it up. So remember how I said I wasn't going to spawn the boss this turn? Guess what? I lied. Hey, Sally, remember how I said I'd kill you last?
That's right, Matrix, you did.
I lied. All right.
In that movie, chat, if you can. If anyone's still there.
Oh, people are still there. Actually, more people than ever. More people
you're right.
coming. All right, so I'm going to move here. That is one of my favorite movies of all time, by the way. I love that movie.
Hey, dude, what are you doing? You're using this, aren't you?
Oh, no.
You're doing that one. Never mind.
Oh, no. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I lied. I'm not doing a boost move. I'm doing this. Because we don't have to activate them in a specific order. We can activate the icons in any order. So I get these 2 for sure.
You're taking the 1 damage,
but I am taking the 1 damage because that gives me the move. Gives me a double attack, so killing this jobber.
You get a dragon stone.
Which gives me a dragon stone. Also get the gather, which gives me another dragon stone.
I mean, where does the boss go? Do we roll for it?
We're gonna... Yes. So we do have to... All right. So it says boss enters. We have to do it. We are going to roll for the boss entering. Do you think it happens now? Immediately? Or at the end of the turn? I've been doing it during the enemy roll, I feel like.
Yeah, that's
well, because we don't have dice to roll to spawn them, right? So during the enemy turn, so boss... Let me see. This is why we play. So boss... comes in. How about during the boss activation phase?
Yeah, sure.
During boss activation / doesn't activate this turn.
You gathered 2 you got both dragon stones?
I got both dragon stones. Yep, 1 for killing and then 1 for the gather action associated with this. All right, so that's that. All right, so I got one more
small enemy on you, just a note.
Yeah, so I could kill him by doing a boost. I could use this magic to kill him, but I'd rather save that for the boss in all honesty. I could gather more
another magic and tank the damage.
Exactly what I was thinking. I could gather
Although then
again.
You'll take another damage moving away from him, so that maybe is not smart.
Well, but the boss could spawn right here, right? Oh, can we attack the boss with minions? Yes, right? It's just you're gonna...
No. You have to kill any minions in the boss's space before you can attack the boss.
Okay, so Another note. Can't. Well, but these are all things that need to be in the rules eventually. Or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that we need to remember.
Can't attack boss with enemies present. Or minions present. Whatevs. All right. Notes. Okay. Some people probably would do those right in a Google Doc.
What are you doing?
We use paper. Oh, I'm writing that down on paper.
Oh.
I'm old school in it, buddy.
I use Google Docs. The only reason I had some things written down in paper is because we already can. All right, you're boosting to kill him.
I'm gonna kill him.
All right.
Yep.
Got him.
Yep. Dead and dead. All right. I did have to use 4 dice that turn, which isn't wonderful. So let's do this in order. So magic. Do I want to use?
Oh, sorry.
No, not using magic.
I already erased the time.
Minions attack. No. Boss activation. All right. Oh no, boss activation does happen. So we spawn the boss. So we roll and he comes closest, right? Or do we say furthest for the boss?
I would say furthest. I mean, again, I'm going to slightly push that he should be running away from us instead of toward us as time runs out, because otherwise, him always chasing us is going to devalue movement to an extent, except for like moving one away from him. You know what I mean?
So we have to do a smart way of phrasing, like they would attack as much as possible, and then with their last activation, move away, right? How about this? Boss attack equals...
I would argue that they just move. That's their only activation, and they just have a 1 attack value like every other enemy. So you just take 1 damage for every enemy in your space at the end of your turn, you know?
So boss activation is they attack for 1, and then they move 1 to the space with the most enemy. Toward the space with the most minion.
Unless they're already on it. So like within 1 space. They go to the space within 1 space that has the most minions. And then I think the next tiebreaker should be farther away from you. You know?
Well, if it's only 1 space, that doesn't...
Well, then you choose. So, like, right now, if he was moving now, both of these spaces would be equally minioned up. Both of them would be equidistant from us. So we would choose whether he goes to 2 or stays where he is.
I would say tiebreaker is large minion, then small minion.
Okay.
Right?
But then tiebreaker beyond that is just your choice or farther away from you or something?
Well, no, I'd say he moves for sure. Does not say
gotcha.
on your space. So he moves for sure.
Oh, so he can never stay in the space he's in. You only consider which space adjacent has the most minions.
And start... Well, not most. Well, yes. Most, then largest is the tiebreaker.
Yeah. All right.
So most is at most going to be 2. And then player choice. Yeah, so we'll see how that works.
Yeah, somewhere around there. We just got to make like a little priority table and see how simple we want to keep it.
And again, this is what design's all about. Like, this is the when people say the
dirty side of design. Yeah.
Right. Well, when people say a game's 90% designed and then the last 90% is in these small details, like, this is what we're talking about. Like, the game works. You've seen that the game works. Like, I'm very happy with where it's at. But we're now focused on what tiny details, and this is why we get so upset when we play a game and these tiny details are off, because then we go, okay, they did the easy work, which was like designing the basics of the game, and they didn't do like the hard work, which is like this grinding out the last like 10%, which takes...
And that is the least fun.
Yes. And
the one that's the hardest to get playtesters to help with usually. Like, I get it. I totally understand why it doesn't happen a lot of the time. By the way, I'm gonna switch in, Peter. I'm playing for a little while.
Okay, did I roll this?
We're halfway. No, you didn't roll it yet.
Okay.
We only placed him.
All right, so let's roll for the enemies. 10 plus
16.
6 is 16, which is spawn 3.
Here we go. All right, Peter, you're watching now. I'm taking over.
Yep. So 1, 3,
3,
5. So 5 is our space. Do you want a large or a small?
What we got? We're probably gonna do a large.
Okay.
Use that power to kill him straight up.
All right, and then 3. Which one?
Large up here. I don't want to be.
What are you doing?
Trying to get away from there. I don't want to be surrounded by minions. Yeah, and then small on 1.
Okay. All right, Mike.
Here we go.
Roll them up. Do the turn.
Oh, here we go. Get that 1, 3, 4 going. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to call this is my aspect. Roaming, I think we can name it.
Yes, it's roaming.
All right. Kill the large guy.
You kill. You're still red.
So that gets me another dragon stone.
I will do that.
Ooh. Level up bunches, can I? Should I go over to the boss? I think I should.
By the way, if you grow this, you can then grow again this turn if you wanted.
Ooh, that is kind of interesting. Oh, and that gives me a gather. All right. Let's try this out. I'm going to do a basic move.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do a I don't have as many things as I think I do. That's fine. I'm going to grow. So give me a heart beater.
Yep.
And I'm going to get that, I think, for 2. So here, I'll
you gotta mark them off.
Dragonstone. Yep. Now I'll go and activate that. So I'm gathering a gold.
Got it.
And then, darn, I kind of want to. Oh yeah, I'll do the move and grow. I'm not going to move though because I don't want to get acted by all
move
people
away, right? Theoretically.
No, because he's going to run away from us. Remember?
Oh, okay.
So I'll just use the grow part of this. Spend the 1 dragonstone, Peter. And
yeah, you spend. I add.
Oh, right. Yep. And mark the 1 cost that.
Okay.
I want to have more flexibility for attacking him. All right. Now magic though, I could run in there, but it seems like that's not the time. So I'm not going to do that.
Use the gold to double magic up.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that whenever. There's no need right now, so I'll hold off. All right, so...
Well, I assume you couldn't do it during the magic phase. It's got to happen during the action phase, right?
Sure, we should clarify that, though. All right, so the boss is going to run away to 2.
So...
I'm losing another time. Now let's see what else our friend does.
During action phase only.
Oh, that doesn't seem good.
Oh my gosh. Why did you take over? That's terrible.
21. Spawn 3 and then activate 1. All right, so we'll spawn 3 first. 3
and he's going to run away from us.
2, 5, 5. So
closest to us.
Do one of the smalls we can fit for a 5 there. And then it has to be a large here for the other 5. That's not what I would prefer. And then a 2 is right where he is. Going to be a large. Jeez. All right. And then he's running away to the 6 space.
Yep.
Jesus. Yeah, so maybe running away is too much. This is the kind of thing we got to test out and see. Oh, and Patrick has a good question. He said, aren't the people that do the last 10% usually called developers? Absolutely. I do not know. Like, I have many friends who are designers. Pretty much none of them actually get developers because smaller publishers don't tend to, like, have that in their budget. So the designer is also their own developer. You know what I mean?
We've done all of our own development on every game we've played. Every game
correct.
We've done.
But I know that, like, we do know, like, our friend TC develops games often. So clearly that job does exist.
Well, we helped him develop. Which one was that? Some of our games. The solo dice rolling. By the way, that's a lot of attacky. It's a shame that
there's a lot of attacky.
We're
chasing it down, buddy. That's why we unlocked all the actions. We're gonna unlock one more, maybe.
Good luck with that. Well,
thanks. I appreciate that.
You should have put a large minion in your way so you could have killed it. I mean, you still could. You could kill here.
I know, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Food, gather, or gather gold and then move. That's probably makes more sense. Yeah, so I'll use this first.
I was about to say,
Gather
you really
gold
taking,
where I am.
I thought you were taking this aspect. You're like, I'm gonna use this 3 first. Nope.
So give me a gold, Peter.
Okay.
Gathered before I moved away from the.
Yeah, so you can do it in any order again. So you gathered, then you moved. Yep.
Patrick is asking, where is the dice mitigation? If you mean specifically in the enemy roll, there isn't much.
There's none. 0.
Spawning also is not automatically a terrible thing. So
the dice mitigation is like the mitigation is that you keep dice that you didn't use from round to round, so you're never going to be using the same aspect over and over again.
And also, again, you are picking how many dice you want to roll in terms of how you activate. But yeah, there doesn't always need to be dice mitigation. But if you like dice mitigation,
then you have none, and don't
right,
buy don't buy the $5 print and play option.
I got a lot of life. Forget that. I'm not killing that guy. Let me erase the red I just made. Can you put a black small minion back there? Thanks. Instead, let's boost.
By the way, I say the the boss attacks for 2. By the way,
I don't know, dude. Because with us chasing after him, it's more likely that we will end on his face.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Instead of where before we would move away and do stuff. All right. So I moved in there. Let's go ahead and get the free plink of attack adjacent. Hit the boss for 1.
Do you want to make it red?
That every chance I can.
Death.
Oh,
you can't because there's a minion there.
Oh crap! Kill the minion. Dang it. That's fine. That's fine. Oh man, he's definitely gonna run the mountain too. The piece of crap. Gosh. It's fine. Everything's fine. Darn it! I thought I could row the 3 this turn, but I don't see how I can. Darn it!
Well, because you moved.
Yeah. So okay, if I didn't move, I only have 1 more meat to gather, but I could do it. All right, what the hell? Let's say that I did that. So call that boost a move. I mean,
get your life
take
back.
Away.
Here.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't lose the life. Yeah, it's right over it. Good point. All right. So then I'll go ahead and grow. So give me a life, and I lose all 3 of these. So food is useless at this point.
Which is good. Like you've gathered all the meat from the land, right? Like all the sheep, all the cows, they're all under padlock now.
All right, and then I will defeat this guy so I don't take the damage.
And move.
I'll move into the safe spot, I guess.
Then you can move and gather again. Oh, you can't because
I'm out of dice. Yeah, I mean we're definitely growing up. We're all growing up. Actually,
So he is definitely going to move to this mountain, and then he'll definitely move here.
You know what? I'm moving here. With that last action.
Move and attack?
And then...
But you did attack first.
I attacked that guy. I'll still keep that. I'm going to use the attack magic I have here to kill the minion, so I only take 1 life instead of 2.
All right, so that's the second time we've used magic. So you're done with your actions. You use the magic. You can use up to 2 to attack. Then the minions attack you. Because you have a large one on your space, you take 1 damage.
Yep.
And
then the boss moves to where I am. I'm just hoping the dice result doesn't have to move again.
Now, when does the boss attack? At the beginning, I assume? If you're on his
attacks
space...
during the attack phase, so... Yeah, if
so,
he moves into
so maybe
you,
it's not minions attack, it's just attack then.
Yeah, definitely. This could be bad.
So enemies attack.
Roll... Hey, there we go. We'll keep the 6, though. 13. Spawn 3. No activation. I mean, the spawn could be bad, but no activation is good. 2, 2, 3. Oh, crap. Okay, so 1 small minion where I am is the first 2.
Sorry.
Got that, Peter?
Yeah, I was writing notes.
Oh, sorry, you were getting notes as well. Yeah. That's more important.
Yep.
And then a small minion here as well.
Oops. Yep.
And then the 3 can't fit one there, so it has to be over here. Let's do a small there as well. I know
Everything is awesome.
All right, come on, give me attack again. 1 to 2s, 1 to 2s. I want to use my power.
You did get a couple of them. I mean, you got
actually.
This is not terrible in this.
Yeah,
situation.
no, and we have I can use the attacking. Oops, that was a 1. No, this is pretty good. This is not a terrible roll. All right, so I will. Did I mark up a time? I did not mark up a time. I'm 90% sure.
All right.
All right. I'm calling roaming. I will certainly blow up the large minion on my space and get a Dragonstone.
Yep. And at this point, you can start using Dragonstone to give you extra icons, too.
For sure. Yeah, I mean we're pretty darn leveled up. Let's go ahead and use this one. So I gather another Dragonstone.
Yep.
And I'll activate this space. Do one. I'll kill the other minion with that.
Yep.
Then I will spend both my Dragonstone to hit the boss twice.
That's not yet. That's turn magic phase. Oh, no. You're right.
Spending Dragonstone for extra actions.
Yep. You're right. You're exactly right. You still have a 3.
Yeah, and then with the 3... Oh, yeah, if I ran away, I'd get hit anyway. So I'll go ahead and hit him 1 more.
Seems good.
I'm not going to use magic yet. So attack phase, he hits me for 1. I roll for him. I got 2 attack phase actions built up. I like that. Feeling good about my next turn.
Yeah.
Oh,
the problem is
hold on. I definitely need to follow the order.
Well, that's why.
I'm sorry. Boss activation. Boss activation. He goes here. Then mark time. I just did. Then roll. God, what is my rolling?
16 is spawn 3. That's actually not bad.
I mean, it's not great. You run out of space here. 1, 2, 6.
1 is
2 has to be where I am, so definitely make it small. 6.
Are
has
you
to be
sure
over
you
here.
got the? Oh no.
I'm not gonna try to activate that aspect next turn.
Yeah.
So 6, make it small here, so we have more room. And 1, whatever, make it large.
So when he moves, he's gonna try to go here, not.
Yeah, right now he would try to go there because of the tiebreaker.
Well, is the tiebreaker furthest or is the tiebreaker largest?
I mean, well, furthest would probably be smarter.
So
if we want it to be tougher, I think furthest.
I mean, do we want it to be tougher? Right now, you have 3 turns left and you've done 3 damage.
That's
I'm not sure I love the boss running away on this first mission.
Right.
Well, on this, we'll see. I say first mission, but there is no.
That was a 5-6. I forget which one, but
it doesn't matter.
I mean, I can still.
You can do double attack, by the way.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
By losing a life, it seems not the worst thing in the world. And get a Dragonstone, which gives you an icon of your choice, but then you're tapped out of Dragonstone.
Gosh, yeah, only gold is left to gather. That is brutal, man.
Well, there's gold here and here. You could just focus on gathering this turn.
Yeah.
Because this gives you gather. Oh, you don't have this. Never mind. Psych. And by the way, we could add more icons here if we think it's not enough.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, everything is negotiable. I am not. I just want to call attack anyway and just get through though.
I mean, you kill the guy in your space and you poke the small one next to you. At least it's.
Yeah. You know what? All right, so let's blow up the small one next to us.
That's you.
Yep. And let's use this.
There you're
I'm gonna go there. So I'll go to this gold space. Definitely gather some gold.
Wait.
And I'll kill the guy as I'm going.
Oh, interesting. So how are you gonna gather?
The next turn is my thought.
Oh, because you're
Get all these gathering actions.
really gathering up.
Like, unlock that.
Oh, you're gonna go magic and freaking. Oh, interesting.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You run out of turns is the.
I have definitely run. I am well aware. all the stuff that is currently happening. All right, boss activation. So he runs here, where I wanted him to go. Mark time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you aren't kidding. We are out of time, baby. Good lord. God, what the God? What is happening here? Okay, 2 spawn.
Double ones too. All right, so one is clearly. Oh no, you.
Yeah, man, we're definitely going up there with one.
Big and small. I mean, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, small down here.
And next turn, you're just gonna take.
But then he activates. So he's gonna go. That's not any better. God damn. Oh my gosh.
Well, all right. So yeah, we'll talk about some stuff.
Yeah. Clearly there's some balancing, but it's fine. All right. Here we go, though. Go big or go home.
I mean, you could gather a lot, but the problem is, gold gets you 2 magic each. I mean, that doesn't necessarily help because you can only use 2 magic per turn.
Shh. My life. All right, let's see. And killing the big guys isn't even going to help me at all.
Oh, because it's a meat, yeah. I mean, I like the resources running out. Let's pause for a second and talk about that. Like, do you like the fact that you can't gather meat at this point in the game, or are you frustrated by it?
I mean, it's a thing. He activated, and the activation had consequences. You know?
Yeah.
We certainly, or you, Peter, spent a ton of time on meat and didn't really get anything else. So, just saying.
I mean, here's the other thing. Each row could be different length. We could have more meat than Dragonstone than gold as well.
Yeah.
If
go in there. All right. All right, we're doing it. So I'm doing this. Taking a damage.
I mean, you got the damage.
You gather gold first. So give me that.
Yep.
I'm in here. Kill the big one with my 2 attack.
That's on you. But, yeah, we don't gather the meat.
Yep. Oh, gosh. I can't get the attack.
You could have gathered more gold before you left, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's say we did that, I guess.
So gather gold?
One more. Yeah.
I mean, we could change this row, too, so it's like...
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Gather, attack, move, attack, gather, attack, move, attack. You know what I mean? Like, we can do whatever we want with this.
Yeah.
If we feel those aren't...
I mean, I almost care less about him running away and like that, and more maybe you don't have to fight the minions before him. If you wanted to suck it up and take damage, you can.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for the rest of the game, let's do it that way. And
all right. Then I'll smack him.
Well, hold on. Did you want to hit him for 2 then instead of the large one?
Sure.
All right. So 1, 2.
I'm gonna die very quickly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's more interesting that way, right?
Sure.
So this big one's back.
Ah, crap. That's not.
What are you doing?
Black, but I failed.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let's just do that.
Oh, yeah, fair.
And second of all,
right.
let's just... Oh, wait. I want to erase...
One's alive and one's dead, so they should both be there.
What? Yeah.
All right, I'm going to spend 2 gold to unlock 4 more magic. And
ooh, Dragonstone could be like ignore damage, or something could be ignore damage, like for one of the dragons. You know what I mean? Because these.
what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take the grow action just to get an extra heart. Silly as that might be.
No, that's why we did it this way, right? It's like you could do
Yeah.
one, both, whatever.
Right. Then magic. They hit the boss for 1. But I don't want to move yet because he's still on my space. Where's he gonna go?
Well,
Definitely
if you
go to
move,
the 1,
well,
or
if you
he's gonna go
move, you
one of
won't
the
take
1.
3 damage. You'll only take 1.
Oh, good call. And he's gonna go to one of the ones. Do I pick? Are we taking away him like trying to get away from you entirely and just make it? All right. Oh, but then I get hit for 2. If I went into 4, all right. So I'll move to 4 and take just 1 damage.
Yeah.
Instead of the 3. Okay. But I did use a movement as well. All right. Yeah. Good call. Good call. Okay. Minions activate. No. Boss activates. So he moves. We're gonna put him here.
I'll move.
Mark time. I got 1 more turn to kill him, Peter. Or no. I got 1 more turn after that, right? Because it's when you would have to mark 1, or is it when you mark the last one?
We're gonna make it so it's not as long, so it doesn't matter at this
Okay.
point. We'll say if you want 2 turns, you can have them, but like we need to. There's some tweaking that needs to happen, right? So it doesn't-
11. Spawn 2, and then he activates again. So he move back to 3 or to 2 if. Oh, there we go. Oh, never mind. So
1 and
1.
6.
I want
So
to
you
take a
take
damage.
the damage. Yep. So
I'm with that.
there's all those out. 6 has to be
And
here.
6 has to be a big right there. Yep. All right. And then he's moving to 3 or 6. We'll send him back to 3.
That's
or to
you.
1, actually.
That's you.
That is me. Oh, never mind. Then he has to move to 3. There was never an option. All right. Big money. You gonna stop there, Die? Okay. Oh, that is such a.
No bueno.
It's totally bueno.
I mean, if you use these, well, if we say you have an extra turn, which probably shouldn't, like, you would, use this turn so that you can hopefully get more attack for next turn.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right. So I will certainly gather another gold and do 1 damage to the boss from range. Yeah, extra activation on that.
Nice. Did you already do the
Gold.
damage?
I did the damage. I did not get the gold.
Oh. What did I mark? I feel
Um,
like I marked something. Oh, I gave you a life, I think. I don't know what I just did. It's fine. Nothing happened. Nobody saw that. It's fine. I don't know what I gave you. I thought I gave you something, but I don't know what I did. Yeah, because you would have plinked the boss earlier instead of killing the minion. Like, this would have been heck of a lot different if you could attack the boss regardless of the minion. And it's more interesting, right? Like, the choice to tank the damage is a good one, I feel like.
Yeah. All right, I'll gather gold.
Okay.
And I'll gain a magic. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and spend the gold to get 2 more.
You spend the other one to get 2 more?
Yep.
Get that double attacky?
Need it. I think that's it. So no minion attack.
All right, we'll give you one more
Boss
turn.
runs back to there, yeah. I don't think it'll be quite enough, but we'll see if we can go ham. 13. Just spawn 3. He's not moving, which I guess is not necessarily better or worse. 2, 2, 4. Geez. So 2 gets a big one here.
Yep.
Oh, and a big one here. So that covers both 2s.
Now, what happens
4.
if all of them are marked off? Do we
And
give
you're
them
taking
a
damage
reprieve?
every time you roll it, theoretically.
We're not going to give them a reprieve? Like, that is the, like, you get a free thing?
Oh, never mind. Yeah. If you've killed them all, I think that's fine. All right, then, unfortunately, Peter, I got a small right here on me.
I mean, that's not unfortunate. You're fine.
All right.
May as well make it large.
It's happening.
Doesn't matter.
All ones. All ones. I'm calling it. 0 ones. Oh my gosh, what do I do now? I think I don't. Call attack. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to. I definitely would have used magic to at least gather last turn. So give me the last gold.
Okay.
That's the best I can do. I can do 2 damage from the magic.
Well, hold on. The question is, would you have moved to take the damage and tank the damage?
No, I.
Why not? 2 damage to be in the spot you need?
Oh, right. It would have only been 2 because he wouldn't be there yet. All right, well, fine. Let's say I did that. We'll cheat a little bit. Because I wouldn't know if that would be the spot he was going to be in if he activated it again.
I mean, you do know because he goes to the spot with the most minions and you choose. Now, maybe
But then if his roll had made him activate, is what I'm saying.
Oh, but you would have also taken damage from leaving.
All right. It's fine. Everything's fine here. All right. All right.
I think you would gamble on that, though, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Because the odds of him activating are pretty small. You have to hit a narrow window for him to activate. Oh,
Yeah.
Is that what you rolled? So you're here?
I guess I'm there. I think that's the best I can do. Because I can do... Gather's just nothing, but I can hit him with that. 1 damage.
2
Then
here.
I can do
3
that.
here.
That's another damage. That's another damage. I'm going to be 1 short. And gain a life. And then
double magic.
Boom. Yep.
Oh. All right.
Not unlocking either of the best attack ones when you don't call attack. It's tough.
I mean, I feel like this is the best attack one on on this row.
No, you're right. Now, I mean, that one would have been nice to get. I mean, I could have just spent fewer resources. Yeah, I mean, clearly we gotta.
All right, it was a turn off anyway because you did 13 turns, not 12. That's the other thing.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. All right. So playtest.
I'm happy with most things. I think we gotta play around with the core rules. Do you have to attack the boss? Which way do they move?
Or do they move, or do we just have them attack you more? Like,
sure.
I mean, that's the other question. Like originally the way it was is they'd move towards you or attack. So if if you were here and he had 2 activations, he'd go 1 to move here, 2 to attack you. Right? So now your life is more of a resource, which you still, I mean, it's still kind of a resource because you're moving around, you're forced to end your movement on the boss. Although you never want to end on the boss because you know he's automatically activating and moving away from you.
Right.
So maybe we do something different. His activation, and again, every boss can be different. Maybe his because maybe we don't give him an automatic activation for this boss. Maybe he only
or vice versa. His automatic activation is always his activation, and this is always killing resources. We make all the resource tracks longer, so there's no switch in what this does after he spawns, which simplifies things a little bit.
Would you have liked less resources? So
no. Again, I'm saying like if we do that, we give you like 3 more of each type or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
To accommodate for him erasing more.
And it could even be then like destroyed. It could be 1, 2, 3 kind of a thing.
For sure, yeah, because it's more granular. We don't have to worry as much about. Although if it's 2 or 3 of the exact same type, that's pretty rough. You know what I mean?
Yes. It could be 2, 2 or whatever.
Sure.
My phone just died, by the way, so I am charging it again, but I can't see any comments if any come in.
There aren't any right now. I'm watching.
Yeah. But all right, so I'm super happy with this. I actually felt like they are the right power level too? How do you feel about this? Like, all right, so the ones you didn't get, this and this are the only two you didn't get.
I mean, I wish I'd gotten that.
Okay. And would you be happy with this?
That one would have been nice, especially if he's moving away from us, for sure. If he's moving towards us, would I ever get that one? Less likely. You know what I mean?
So this one might be too situational, and maybe we need to reevaluate this for this dragon.
Yes.
But were you happy? All right. So let's talk about the bottom, because this is new also. I love the get health and grow. I think that's right. Because it used to be just grow or get health, right?
Yeah, no.
I think the and good. Is right.
Magic, I think all these work well. I definitely don't miss. So for anybody watching, in a previous iteration, you could like discard an extra die when you did one die to like take other icons. But I like the like once per turn. It does limit you a little bit more if you're doing like 4 or 5 dice in the same aspect, but it forces you to level up, so I don't mind that. The game one magic I used a few times. That was fine.
I think I want to change the magic track though to what I said. Gather, attack, move, attack, gather, attack, move, attack.
Okay. The biggest thing for me was...
Do you agree with me? Do you want more attack?
Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah,
I mean, certainly attack is always going to be useful, and it will make magic more valuable if you do that, I think.
Right, and I want to make magic more valuable because I feel like that's part of the reason maybe you didn't go for this. It's like, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, so what I was going to say is I do think it was a little bit of a bummer for the resources to run out, specifically food. Like, especially when I killed the big guy and got nothing.
Well, again, would you just make the food track longer, or would you make them all longer?
Yeah, that would be fine. You could like have the one that's most available be the longest, and gold is shorter than Dragonstone. But yeah, like it was, you know, the time you're most likely to use these powers is the end of the game.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
And the fact that I like couldn't was a little bit of a bummer. I mean, I got to use gold and Dragonstone, but I literally never used, and I would have used the food. You know, so it's just something to note. I'm still fine with the tracks running out. I just would love for it to like not happen.
I'd like it to be a consideration.
Yes.
And again, I think if you make it destroy 1, destroy 2, destroy 2, or maybe destroy 1, destroy 2, destroy 1, destroy 2.
But also maybe we grew too much. We didn't use some of these spaces that often. Maybe we should have grown a little bit less and kept more resources, you know?
Well, that's another question. Do we want people to grow everywhere?
No, I mean, I think it was fine. I'm just saying strategically. I don't have a problem with how the growing was working, and I think they all seemed valuable. But strategy-wise, maybe we should have done a few less because we knew we weren't going to call all those aspects that many times, you know?
Right. But honestly, when we call an aspect, I don't want people to pick the basics anymore if they've leveled up. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, I want these to be way more valuable than this.
Did I ever not use any of the ones we had unlocked?
I don't
basically in any turn.
Think
pretty much not. So I think again the power level there is pretty good.
Yeah.
Patrick said he's off to bed. It's interesting watching you both work together. Good luck. Thanks, Patrick. Have a good night. And then Ortiz said maybe you had the ability to trigger an ability with 2 6s or 2 1s. You can use an ability to unlock more. To trigger an ability with 2 6s or 2 1s, you can use an ability to unlock more. I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Ortiz. I'm sorry. If you can explain a bit more.
So you're saying like doubles maybe give you a growth? Or let you maybe temporarily use something that you haven't grown into yet? Like doubles let you use something
would you ever grow into them then?
Well, right. That's the thing. Then it devalues.
But again, I'm not sure if that's what he's saying. I'm not sure.
No. But I'm just throwing it out there, not necessarily even as what he's saying, but like as what I'm saying. Would that be? Yeah, I don't know. So all right. So generally,
but by the way, just a little thing. Just because we have this blank spot here.
Yep.
We can have a second boost that you have to unlock. That is a wild growth spot.
Ooh, I like
Cost 1 or
that.
2. Probably 2. I think one would make it better than a lot of the other 1 spots. I think it would have to be a 2.
But
I think that would
I
that would
almost
certainly tempt me. You know what I mean?
okay. So a boost spot you can grow into.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be every dragon. Oh, here we go. Let you extend. You extend a track, like a separate brand new track. One-time use. You use 3 of a kind to unlock something like that. So, okay. So I think if I'm understanding correctly, he's suggesting like
Another column?
you can unlock something or unlock another column, but it's like not based on the growth action. It's instead based on like spending dice to do it or something. Yeah, I don't know. We'll definitely we'll write it down. we like more ideas. Something about like using dice to unlock spots. No, I had a fun time playing. I do think the combination of the boss running away and not being able to hurt him and running out of resources dampened my fun a little bit late game.
Yes.
But except for that, all the rest was a lot of fun.
I mean, I love the early game. I didn't love the boss fight. So I feel like this is probably mostly correct. Again, with the let me write the magic track changing.
Well, it's something else we can do because we have the power. We could make it like 10 turns and make the boss have like 7 life. You know what I mean? Or like whatever.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, you don't want the game to go too long. It's a solo roll and write, right? Now,
Yeah.
I don't think it's like any other roll and write. And
oh, who knows? There's tons of roll and writes. I'm sure it's like some roll and write, but it's certainly like none that I've played.
Well, you've got a board, you've got stuff like pawns you're moving around, like.
Well, there's like there's a cyberpunk one I played recently where like you were on a map and you were moving around. You were like picking up equipment from different locations. So there are ones that have like an actual like pawn and movement and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not like this. But yeah, I mean, it felt like maybe a little too long. So if it was 3 turns shorter, 10 turns, maybe the boss has 8 life. I don't know what the balance is right there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's not like the boss fight was uninteresting. Again, we got to tinker with that aspect of the game the most. But I don't think it needs to be a full half of the game. I think if it's a third of the game, that might be more appropriate. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm writing notes.
Yep.
Which I'm sure is great for the live streaming audience, is me writing notes. But I think this is the most interesting part of the design discussion, right? Like the first stuff we were doing was like the monotony of it, but now is the meat and potatoes, right? We just played it. What are we thinking right afterwards? We're going to take notes. Yeah. We're going to change some stuff. And here's the other thing. You could change too much.
Yes. Yeah, you do want to try to change a few things at a time. Like,
right. I think,
for example, the next time Peter and I played, we might just change how the boss works and the number of turns and see how that feels.
Well, and the magic track. I think that would be the other thing I would change. So I think magic track change and boss activation.
Yeah, they're all interlocking. But like, for example, if we change the magic track so there's more attack on it, and we also change the boss that you can attack them when there's minions on them, and we also change the boss so they don't move as much, suddenly we might kill them too fast. So you just got to realize that.
Yeah, so maybe we don't change the magic track. Maybe we just focus on.
The thing that I found most problematic, and it was my suggestion, but the thing that I found like most is how the boss himself is doing stuff. I also didn't love him chasing you and just moving one away and attacking him, moving one away again, and attacking him every turn. So
maybe the boss activation, maybe we make him a ranger. Boss activation deals damage to a dragon within 1 space. If he's not within 1 space, he moves 1 closer to the space with the most minions.
Oh, I like that. And what if he's on your space? Does he run away 1?
If he's on your space, he just attacks you. Or yeah, okay. Yep. So he runs away first. So we do spare parts style. We do an ideal range, right? His ideal range is 1.
Sure.
So moves to be within, to be not within, to be at exactly 1 space from you in the space with the most minions. So if he's here, he activates. he will move to either this space, because it has 2, this space, any of these spaces he will move to with his first activation. He activates again, and he attacks you.
So you're taking a damage every turn, basically, that you cannot possibly prevent?
No, not at all. Why would you say that? He's on your space, right? Boss doesn't normally activate. So forget the change to the boss activation, right? We leave it the way it is. Minions attack, right? You take 1 damage because there's a minion on your space, right?
Okay.
Now you go to boss activation. Boss, he's on your space. He moves to a range of 1. Boom. Okay. He moves here, right? Or here.
Oh, he doesn't attack you unless he activates again?
No, that's what I'm saying. And then if you roll activations, so he moves to 1 space. So if he's here, same thing. He moves, his activation is moving to be within 1 space of you. That is his goal, is to be within 1 space of you.
Yeah, and I think the tactical positioning of how you manipulate where he moves might be better that way. Okay, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I mean, at least to try next, and see how it works.
So, boss activation moves to be at exactly,
or tries to be, if he's
1
it is possible on this map to be 3 away
from you. Well, right. Or attacks. And we'll know what that means, because we'll probably work on it tomorrow, right? Like, I feel like, so here's the thing. We're both getting tired now, and this is a true design thing, right? We're both getting tired now. I think we've got some good ideas here. I've jotted down a lot of notes. I think we reconvene tomorrow, and we're not going to do this on the stream, but we reconvene tomorrow and redo the boss board and or some of the stuff on the player board. I think probably not the player board. I'm pretty happy with this right now.
Yeah, I mean, we can look at some of the actions later, but
a double move is going to be very situational, but I'm okay with that. Maybe.
I don't know yet.
Maybe it's double gather is less situational.
Yes, I think that would.
So change double move to double gather. I mean, that's.
But again, I think it kind of if we lengthen the resource tracks a little bit, because otherwise double gather becomes more situational itself.
Well, is it though? Think about this. I gather a gold. I move because it's got a move on it, and I gather a dragonstone.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah, no, I think we have to add food, for sure. I don't think we have to add
I like
everything.
The idea of, because you saw how much gold we had at the end, because it's harder to get. So it just makes natural sense for food, dragonstone, and gold to be of varying lengths.
Yep. What was I just saying? Change double what? I just had a really good idea, and it's gone. What was it? Well, we can always rewind the tape. That's the benefit of recording this, I guess. It's I can always rewind the tape. What was it? Change double.
Ortiz said I should put a treasure chest in some of the tiles, and then if you're there, you get to you can open it to get something special. That's fun. Sorry, you're trying to remember what you were thinking of. And we said change the double move to a double gather. Level 2 gather space, hunt space.
2 double gather. Yep. Especially if you're using 2 dice, right?
Yeah. Because gather is one of the actions that is almost always
useful.
No, you're fine, Ortiz. We appreciate the suggestions. We're jotting them down too. We're just it's. Especially for you all, I think this happens a lot. Like, I think when people see new games, they're like, "Ooh, let's add this, let's add that," and whereas our brains, and that's not right or wrong. Sometimes you need to add something cool to kind of jazz the game up. But our brains at this point in the process are very much into how do we balance this one thing?
Well,
do we add one number? Yeah, and streamline. How do we simplify? How do we cut things and cut rules?
Yes, yeah. As much as any. Variable. Resource tracks length.
Oh, yes. Longer food, shorter gold. Dragonstone seemed probably about right.
I mean, we don't necessarily need to shorten the gold. Maybe we add 1 dragonstone and 2 food spaces.
Yeah, actually, that'd be fine, especially if the boss is going to continually attack your resources.
Well, he's not though. Like I really think we go back to activating.
Oh, right.
Being
Okay.
he gets to within one of you, preferably with the most minions, and then attacks for each activation.
Okay. And we also didn't have much damage in the early going. If we were worried about the resource thing being frustrating, his activation while he's off the board could just be 1 damage. He shoots a friggin' arrow at you while he's hiding, you know?
Yes, potentially. Yep.
Because we did not lose a single point of damage until I think like round 6. You know what I mean?
But I'm okay with that. Like I want it to be build up, have a exciting what do I do with my life now? It's a resource of mine.
Fight I understand, but I think also you're taking a little bit of damage in the early going. It'll make it feel like more of a resource, and you might like want to grow specifically to build up your damage. Whereas if it all comes at the end, it might seem less relevant until late game. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Just an idea. I mean, jot it down. It's a possibility. We don't have to do anything with it.
I'm sorry. What was it? I just said yes and wasn't paying attention because I was reading some note. All right.
So. It was maybe the boss's activation is a single point of damage when he has not spawned yet, and we take away the cutting resources from the track thing entirely for the moment.
Yep. All right. But I like this question, and then we're gonna end on this. So we got a question from Cinematic Cats 77. How much design time has it taken to get you to this point of the prototype? So that's an interesting question because Steve made a roll and write that was literally 1 page roll and write, which had this exact same map shape, but all the boss, like our chart was on here and it didn't do exactly this. It was different. So the way we activated was kind of different, but the other part of this is a lot of this design comes from Flame Fang itself.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a year in development and whatever. Like originally we just copied the actions for these from upgrades exactly from Flame Fang. Then we realized they didn't work, a lot of them, with the dice rolling. So we had to modify them substantially to work with a dice rolling system. It's a lot, right? Like to get to this point has been, well, we've only worked on it for probably a month or 2, but
yeah, and that hasn't been like focused time because we're also doing work on the main Flame and Fang game.
Well, not only that, but we're creating content. We are, we have lives and children, and my daughter is hockey literally every day of the week. It feels like, which I love, by the way. She had a great tryout tonight, which was awesome.
Oh, good.
I'm super excited. I'm now waiting on an email to figure out when her tryout time is tomorrow, believe it or not. So we have lives too, right? Like that's the other thing. Like, so if we had focused on this specifically, I don't know. What do you think? You had never played the roll and write until Unpub.
Yes.
And then at Unpub,
I think in grand total, I have directly grappled with the roll and write for 5 different days, each of those like for 2 hours or so.
Well, some of those being Unpub, though. We spent a lot of time at Unpub.
Well, that's true. But yeah, so I would say that I certainly have not spent a ton of time, but Steve in the initial draft and then Peter has done more than I have time-wise.
But I don't know that I've done a ton more than you. So I've probably spent... Well, I play tested Steve's roll and write quite a bit to figure out what I liked and didn't like about it. No.
Yeah, Ortiz asked and Ryan clarified. Yeah, Flame and Fang is our first. So we've, just for those who have not seen stuff about us before, we've had 3 games published that we've designed, but we did not publish ourselves. Salvation Road, Dark Dealings, and then the fraught Mega Man Adventures that is still tough to get for some people and some people have not received. So Flame and Fang is going to be our 4th published game, but this is the first time we are publishing it ourselves. Our friend Steve is working with us. It'll be 3 of us, but it is like our company publishing it. It'll be on Kickstarter soon ish.
Yeah, hopefully.
This quarter, maybe by June.
I'm spoiling a little. I'm teasing, like I'm showing the board for Flame Fang. This is like set up for the first mission.
Yeah, and so Ortiz, there's not a video of the main Flame Fang game yet. We're still like finishing art assets and stuff. We want it to look as good as possible before we like directly show it off. That said, if you're in our Discord, which is linked in every like video we do, we have TTS like files on there, so you can play if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean,
Ortiz.
Yeah, so this is like what the cards are going to look like. You can grow into them by spending 4 here to get a move and a gather. So you see this symbol is different than what we had.
And this Flame Fang is a deck builder campaign game. So like the theme is similar and you are like moving and attacking things.
But yeah,
it's a very different game, and it's a campaign, like a persistent campaign, in that like you are permanently leveling up and unlocking new things, and there's like a narrative story and all that stuff.
But you do have like 6 cards still, right? So I can use this to move 1 space.
Well, sure.
And then
yes, so there are a lot of similarities. Like someone who played the roll and write would play Flame and Fang and be like, I see. But they also feel completely different in a lot of ways.
But it's cooperative as well, so you could play up to
Right.
4 players. You could also play the main game solo. But this is what I'm most proud of, which is the chapter cards, the story cards. Like, it's going to open like a book, and I'll show you the setup, but I'm not going to spoil anything past that. So you get, like, the story so far of you being born, and then this is the setup where, like, you start in the cave, the fortress is always here, but this is like a random assortment. So you're going to shuffle the tiles and, like, place them out randomly in this pattern, and then, like, you have a spawn, you have minion cards. We're going to spawn a minion card. This I also love. So this one is spawned in Forest 3. If you look at Forest 3 and the background art of this card, if this card is right here, by the way, the coloring's off, but like the background will match with the background of, like, in the real game. Like, this will fit on the board perfectly, and like the background will be the background of that forest space. So super excited about that. So it's like add 1 if it's 1 or 2 players, add 2 if it's multiplayer. So this one would spawn in the outpost. Again, you go to the outpost, and this art in the background is going to match the art, like when you put the card there. Add 4 event cards.
And a few really cool things that we're happy about. I mean, assuming it all works out. First of all, I think the price point people are going to be shockingly happy with if it, knock on wood, ends up going the way we want, especially for like a campaign game. Like it's a game that punches higher than its weight.
Yes,
because it's going to be still like a fairly small box, not crazy amount of components, pretty quick playing, and also for those who want, we are going to have full one-off rules, so you can play any of the it's an 8 scenario campaign. 8, Peter?
8 scenarios. Yep.
8 scenarios. Yeah, it's an 8 scenario campaign. You can play any of them one-off. So if you really don't want to do the campaign thing, we have rules for playing any of them. Just jumping right in.
Yep. Yeah, so where are we right now? I mean, you can see most of the graphic design for most of the stuff is done. We still don't have a box, but that hopefully
we still don't have tokens.
Yeah, some of the tokens aren't right. Although some of them are. Like, we got quest tokens here, which is kind of cool. We got, like, damage to the enemies. We got the meat. We got the meats. The dragon stone.
We got the meat.
The gold. We got stun tokens. Why is the stun token so much bigger? Oh well, that's a TTS issue. That is like not how it's gonna be. But yeah. So there's a lot of stuff in the game that isn't in the roll and write. There's like magic, which is basically, the tokens. We have conditions, which are not in the game, which like
negative cards that can go in your deck or muddy up your hand.
Discard a card from your hand and destroy this card. So like your hand size becomes actually 2 smaller with this one, but like different conditions do different things to you. So very cool deck buildery things, but still playing with you can only play 1 aspect per turn. But like you can boost the bottom using Dragonstone or discarding cards of that aspect. We have a
Peter's going way too granular here.
Prep
I think that's enough,
area.
Peter.
I
They
don't
got
know.
it.
I'm excited. I'm excited by it. I'm excited by
Yeah,
this design.
we like the game. It's a good sign. Any designer will tell you this. It's a good sign that
We still want to play it.
Testing it a week ago, and we're having a blast, and we're ready to play more. So yeah, we continue to enjoy the game quite a bit.
Yep.
Thanks, Ortiz. Hope you want to support us. Hope the price seems right when it gets on Kickstarter. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and this wasn't meant to be a big advertising thing. We literally were like trying to, see what it would be like to do design in front of everybody. We're gonna do it tonight anyway. I don't think it slowed us down too much. So
no. I this went better than I thought. I don't know if it was interesting for you all, but I did not mind the whole thing.
Yeah, so let us know if you want to see more of this. Obviously, we will get better on our end the more we do stuff like this, right? The more you do anything, the better you get at it. So, like me switching between screens and stuff like that. I love the fact that you could show me your working on... Because honestly, when Mike and I worked together, there was some slowdown. Like, I would never see you working in whatever that's called.
Ortiz asked minis or standees. I think meeples.
Meeples?
So neither.
I think they're going to be screen printed, but that might have to be a Kickstarter
like
bonus
or
whatever
for sure.
But I'm pretty sure they're going to be screen printed meeples is our goal for the game.
Yes. So not minis and not standees.
Acrylic standees were way more expensive. I was shocked.
Yeah.
It was shockingly more expensive.
I mean, it might be because so few companies are doing those still. Maybe as it becomes a more regular thing and their production are better with them, it'll be cheaper. But for now, it's more expensive than we thought it would be.
Yeah, and we wanted to keep the game reasonably priced. We thought that was an important aspect of the game. Now, will there eventually be like miniature pack or whatever else? That's not the goal. It's certainly not what we're planning, but whatever the market demands, right? Maybe somebody will open an Etsy shop and or somebody with an Etsy shop will do cool stuff like that. But that is not in our plans currently. But
what is in my plans though?
Sleep.
Going to bed.
Yes. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this. Please leave comments. Let us know what you think in the comment section. We look at them all, and if you want more of this, let us know. We will, we give the people what they want. That's for sure. We have to do these design days anyway, whether we stream them or not. Is probably an extra 30 minutes to an hour of our lives, because we probably could have gotten done a lot faster without the streaming. But it is what it is. We do this for the love of you all that we have.
Love of the game.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm gonna say bye.
Hi everybody. Thanks for being here.